Ever wonder how the Mafia became so powerful? It wasn't just brute force, it was business. And the man who wrote the business plan was Charles "Lucky" Luciano. Born in Sicily, Luciano arrived in New York as a kid with nothing but ambition. While other gangsters were stuck in old-world traditions, Luciano saw the future. He learned the ropes on the streets, but his real education came during Prohibition, working under the legendary gambler and mastermind, Arnold Rothstein. Rothstein wasn't a made man. He was a brilliant businessman who saw crime as an enterprise. Luciano absorbed every lesson. He saw that the old bosses, the Mustache Petes, were holding everyone back with their endless, bloody feuds. By the early 1930s, New York was torn apart by the Castellammarese War, a brutal conflict between two old-school bosses, Joe the Boss, Masseria, and Salvatore. Luciano, officially working for Masseria, saw this war as bad for business. He knew there was only one way to end it. First, he set up his own boss. In 1931, Luciano lured Masseria to a restaurant in Coney Island. After a game of cards, Luciano excused himself to the washroom, and gunmen burst in, ending Masseria's reign. This betrayal allowed Luciano to join forces with Maranzano, who then declared himself the boss of all bosses. But Luciano had no intention of serving a new king. Maranzano's dictatorial style was exactly what Luciano wanted to eliminate. Just a few months later, Luciano sent his own assassins, disguised as government agents, to Maranzano's office. With both old bosses gone, the path was clear. But instead of declaring himself the new dictator, Luciano did something revolutionary. He called a meeting of the most powerful crime leaders in the country. He told them the days of a single boss of all bosses were over. It was time to run their operations like a modern corporation. He proposed the creation of the Commission, a board of directors for the National Crime Syndicate. This commission would settle disputes, approve new ventures, and maintain order, preventing the kind of costly wars that had plagued them for years. In New York, he established the legendary five families, each with its own territory and leadership, but all answering to the Commission. This structure stabilized the underworld, allowing for unprecedented growth and profit. Luciano, alongside his trusted Jewish associates Meyer Lansky and Bugsy Siegel, built a multi-ethnic, coast-to-coast empire, controlling everything from gambling and loan sharking to labor unions. They were no longer just thugs. They were executives of organized crime. For a time, Luciano was the undisputed king of the New York underworld, living a life of luxury and power, but his high profile made him a target. In 1936, Special Prosecutor Thomas E. Dewey finally managed to convict him, sending him to prison. During World War II, Luciano used his influence to aid the U.S. war effort from his cell, a move that earned him an early release, but with a catch. He was exiled to Italy, never to return to America. Even from across the ocean, his influence lingered. Lucky Luciano may have lost his freedom, but the empire he designed, the Commission, continued to govern the American Mafia for decades. He didn't just climb to the top, he redesigned the entire mountain. That was the genius of Lucky Luciano, the true architect of the modern mob. Thanks for watching. If you found this story fascinating, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more deep dives into history's most compelling figures. See you next time.